Hi guys, happy weekend. I want to apologize for the assignment this week. First of all, there was a question that had the wrong answer, which I copied straight out of the textbook, so shame on them, but also shame on me for not double checking everything. So there was one question that had the wrong answer posted, so I have corrected that. So anyone who got the correct answer got points for that. And overall, I think I didn't give quite enough explanation on this assignment as far as the steps that you should take to complete it properly. So I think a lot of people were confused and got wrong answers based on doing kind of basic things you would do with sort of a chart like this by maybe calculating an average based on the numbers you found. But the correct procedure was to actually use the formula in the book, not just pull an average from across. So let me show you on my screen here just sort of how you should have done the assignment and how you could have gotten the right answers. And we'll talk a little more about scoring in a sec. So here I have copied the data directly from the chart. So everything in a white cell is something that was already provided, and then everything is yellow. In yellow is something that I had to calculate. So the first question was it's assumed that the customer count on Saturday is twice as high as Wednesday. What is the weekly total? So most of you got this right. You would just take the Saturday count, divide it by 2 to get your Wednesday count, and you would add all those numbers up to get your total for the week. Some people put this Wednesday number in, just didn't read the question clearly of what is the total weekly count, and just put the Wednesday count in. But again, most people got that one right, so good job. Next, it says, it is assumed that the daily sales for Saturday are triple the sales of Tuesday. How much are total weekly sales? So then we would take the sales on Tuesday and we would triple them. So Tuesday times 3 equals Saturday, right? And then we would add those up to get our total sales for the day. I did this in Excel using formulas. That's not required. You haven't been trained on Excel, so you could totally have done all of this by hand with a calculator. Totally acceptable. I just was trying to cut corners to do this quickly. So again, just calculating triple Tuesday to get Saturday and then adding those up to get your total weekly count. So again, a lot of people got this one right. If you didn't, just think about kind of what I'm talking through there and where you made those mistakes. I want this just to be a learning opportunity here. I don't want you guys to have to go back and redo the assignment, but these are skills we're going to be building on. I know this isn't a math class, and I know some of you aren't great at math and don't like math, but it is critical in managing a restaurant or a hospitality operation to understand budgets and understand cost controlling. So these are important skills, and you'll always have tools available. You're never going to be doing math in your head. You're going to be using calculators and spreadsheets and things like that, but you do need to understand how to get these numbers and then what those numbers mean when you get them. Okay, so moving on, the third question was how much is the average check for each day and for the whole week? Or actually I took out the each day part, so just for the whole week. So you had your average check, numbers were completely blank, right? So you just had to take your daily total in sales and divide it by your customer count for that day, and that would give you your average check for that day, right? So how much money you made, how many people came in, and that's how much each person spent, right? The average per customer. So once you have the totals for each day worked out from working backwards, then you would just, again, here's where a lot of people ran into a problem. So then they took an average of those numbers, of these numbers. Once you calculated for each day, they took an average. And that's what my instinct was to do at first when I was just kind of going through this quickly. And then I thought, no, that's not the proper procedure for calculating average customer check for the week. The proper procedure for the week is taking the daily sales for the week and the customer count for the week and dividing those. So take sales for the week, divide by customers for the week, and find the average check for the week. So finding an average of these gets you the wrong answer, and a lot of you did that, and I totally understand why. But so that's where my fault was, that I didn't give you enough explanation. What I should have said is figure out these numbers, figure out your daily numbers that are missing, and then go back to the chapter and figure out which of these totals or averages are formulas in the chapter, and that's how you're supposed to calculate those final totals or averages for the week is by using the formulas provided in the book, not just by continuing this as a spreadsheet or as a chart and finding averages. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. All right, so question 4 we just did. Question 5, food cost percentage is 10% higher on Saturday than Thursday. How much is the daily food cost percentage for the week? Okay, so here's where a lot of people went wrong. And again, my first reaction when I started to do the problems to figure out why so many people didn't score well was the same thing. So when it says food cost percentage is 10% higher on that Saturday than Thursday, so you're looking at your food cost percentage, you're looking at Thursday, your gut instinct to be 10% higher would be to go to 40% for Saturday. But it's saying marginally 10% higher, not 10 percentage points higher. So 10% higher than 30 is 33%, right? So you take 30%, multiply it by 1.1, basically by 100% plus the extra 10%. And that's how you would get that 33%. And then once you have all your daily numbers, again, you're not finding an average of those. You're going to be going down using those numbers to get your budget number. Once you get your budget numbers, you're going to have your total food cost budget for the week. You're going to divide that from your total sales, and that's going to get you your percentage for the week. So again, a lot of people just continued on through and averaged out the total of each percentage point. Keep pointing at my screen like you can see my finger. Again, a lot of people did this where they just said, okay, 27 plus 28 plus 29 plus this divided by 7 would be my weekly, but that's not correct, okay? So again, you should have found all of these numbers. So you found your percentage, then you used your percentages to find your budget, which you would do by taking your daily cost, your daily sales, multiplying it by your food cost percentage to get you your food cost dollar amount for each day, okay? Then once you have your dollar amounts for each day, you would add all those up to get your total, and then you would take that number, divide it from the total sales for the week, and that would get you your percentage for the entire week for food cost, okay? I know this is complicated stuff, guys. So again, we found our increase from 10% from Thursday to Saturday. Then we used those numbers to find our daily food cost number, our daily food cost dollars. Once we added those up, we got our daily food cost for the week. So really the question number 5, how much is food cost budget for the week, should have been first because you needed to find that before you could calculate the daily food cost percentage for the week, right? So you needed to have this number to divide into your total sales before you could get this 30.2 number. Okay, so then that explains number 5, which is the food cost number for the week. That's how you would get that, your food cost budget for the week. And then going on to number, number 6, 4, 5, 6. Labor cost percentage is 20% higher on Friday than Monday. So again, a lot of you did the same thing where you said, okay, Monday it's 28, so Friday's 48. But again, it's not 20 percentage points higher, it's incrementally 20% higher. So you would take Monday's number 28%, multiply it by 1.2, or the 100% that's existing plus the 20% that you're adding, right? And that gets you 33.6. All right, so that's your labor percent for that day, which you need to then calculate your labor cost budget, same thing as we did above. So you need to take these percentage numbers, multiply those into your daily sales to get your total labor dollars for each day. Once you have your labor dollars for each day, you add those up, and then same thing as before, you take your labor dollars for the day, divide them into your daily sales. Labor dollars for the week, divide them into your sales for the week, and that gets you your 30.36% labor cost for the week as a whole. Again, we're not just running an average of these numbers. That's not the accurate way to calculate it. It's close. It's similar, right? That's why a lot of your answers were just slightly off, but it's not correct. You take your total labor cost for the week, divide it by your total sales for the week, and that gets you your labor cost percentage for the week. Okay? And then again, that question number 7, for getting this total labor cost number for the week should have been before the other, because again, you needed to calculate that before you could get the other. So again, this was my first time trying to use this type of assignment. So it's new to me, and I apologize, and I'm learning as you are. So I appreciate your patience. And then our last question, our last number question was, what is the average prime cost percentage on a weekly basis? So again, once you calculated your labor cost for the week and your food costs for the week, you just add those together to get prime cost. So that's a really simple one where you don't even need to calculate prime cost for the days technically, because that would be unique for each day. You really just need to calculate it for the week. And so you could skip that step of even calculating these cells, because you don't need that information to get your weekly total, which can be confusing because you think, oh, if I have them for the week, I can just run an average of all of those 7 days, but that's not how we calculate prime cost for the week. For the day we add the food cost and the labor cost for the day to get our prime cost for the day. But we continue that formula with our food cost for the week plus labor cost for the week equals prime cost for the week, okay? So if you did all of this correctly, you would have gotten all these correct, but because when you got maybe one number wrong, that led to another answer wrong, that led to another answer wrong, lots of you got lots of things wrong, and that's totally understandable. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've curved the quiz. So based on, I basically just pulled it up. So everyone who submitted the quiz or assignment, whatever we're calling it, got a much higher score than they actually earned. And anyone who didn't submit it obviously got 0 points because they didn't do the work. So if you tried and put a good faith effort in, you got at least 75%. That's the lowest score now. So again, if you got some questions right, that brought your score up even higher than that. But everyone who at least tried and submitted the quiz got at least a 75% on this, okay? It's one assignment out of 10 more you'll do, plus all the quizzes, plus all the elevator pitches. So don't worry about your overall grade. It will be okay. All right, so thank you guys. And then also on the last question, the sort of, so now what, based on the numbers you found, what would you recommend to the management? I was really proud of you guys there because I understood that the number part was confusing, but the bottom line of all of this is that you understand what the numbers mean and how to use them to improve operations. And I was really proud. Most of you made really insightful comments about ways that the managers could or should cut labor on certain days to align better with the sales, or to look at food costs for a particular day because it's exceptionally high, or things like that. And that was really what I was going for. That was the goal of this assignment, is for you to understand looking at the numbers and what they tell you and what you can draw from them to improve operations. So overall on that point, you guys did a really, really great job. I'm glad that those concepts came through, even though the math part was a little sticky. And so again, I just look through this, see where you went wrong, see if it makes sense now that I've explained it. And just take a little time to kind of review so that we can move on and continue with learning some more advanced skills with these number sets and how we use them. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out via Canvas Messenger, and I would be happy to sit down with anyone this week. I'll be on campus Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. I'd be happy to sit down and go over any of this or answer any questions or discuss anything you need to in my office, T120A. Please let me know when you're planning on coming because I won't be there all day. Every day I have a couple meetings and things, but let me know so I can set aside time to meet with you if you want to discuss these things, okay? Thank you guys for your hard work. Again, I apologize for the confusion with this, and it was a good learning experience for me, so it'll be much better next time I teach this course. But I appreciate you being my test dummies. Again, let me know if you have any questions, and have a good rest of your weekend, and I'll have everything posted by Monday morning for the coming week. Thanks.